Hello friends, welcome back. So till now we have discussed several things in state space, and today we are uh, going to use a method through which we can convert state space representation from given transfer function. So already we know that why we are using state space, what are the benefits, then from given state model how to convert transfer function. After that we discussed about how to convert physical system like electrical system or mechanical system in terms of a state space model. And in previous class we discussed about state transition matrix. So now we are moving ahead, we are converting the given transfer function system into a state space model. Okay, so we will quickly revise that. We represent the system with the help of state equation, that x dot is equals to ax of t plus b u of t, and y is equals to cx of t plus d u of t. Okay. Now we also have discussed in previous sessions that how we convert the transfer function from given state space. So for that we have equation c into si minus a whole inverse into b plus d. I'm not going into the derivation because this thing we have already discussed. Now the main focus or main point of discussion in today's session is how to convert from transfer function to state space. Okay, so basically there are different methods through which you can represent a state space model, like controllable canonical form, observable canonical form, diagonal canonical form, and Jordan canonical form. But here in our syllabus we just have single method, that is controllable canonical form. So that we will be using to convert given transfer function into the state space. Now one thing you have to keep in mind that for any system transfer function is only one, but for the same system you can have multiple state space model, because as I say that you can represent the system with the help of multiple methods, like state space with the help of controllable canonical form will be different, diagonal canonical form will be different. But the thing is, you may have multiple outcome when you execute the conversion, or when you do conversion with the help of MATLAB, then you may have multiple uh, then you may have different result than your manual calculation, because here in this particular video we'll be understanding how to convert the system with the help of controllable canonical form. So transfer function will represent the state space with the help of controllable canonical form. Okay, fine. So let's start. What we are doing in controllable canonical form. So I have just taken one basic example in which the system transfer function is 1 upon s square plus 3s plus 2. Okay. Now my objective is to convert this system in terms of a state model. Now when we convert in the state model, first of all transfer function is Laplace of output by Laplace of input, and we are representing the output and input with the help of symbol y and u. So I can write here y of s by u of s is equals to 1 upon s square plus 3s plus 2. Okay, if I do cross multiplication, it will be s square y of s plus 3s y of s plus 2 into y of s is equals to u of s. Okay, till this step I'll be reaching from given transfer function. Okay, now next step is to assume state variables. Now by controllable canonical form, always you have to keep in mind that we'll assume the state variable in this way, that we will assume that x1 is equals to y and x2 is equals to x1 dot, that also equals to y dot, and I can also write in Laplace it is s into y of s. Now I can extend the state variables depending on the order of the system. So here my order of the system is 2. So I have to write only two state variables, x1 and x2. If I have say third order system, then I will be having x1, x2 and x3. In that case, x1 will be y, x2 will be x1 dot means y dot, and x3 will be x2 dot, that means x1 double dot, or we can say s square into y of s. Okay, now these assumptions I will place in my equation. So I have equation s square y of s plus 3s y of s plus 2 into y of s equals to u of s. In this equation, if I write s square y of s, then it will be equals to x2 dot. Okay, because s square y of s is equals to x2 dot plus 3 into s y of s. Here I can write 3 into x1 dot, I can also write, and I can also write x2, right? So what is important here, that I will write 3 into x2, because I have already have one term here of x2 dot, so I can only allow one term of dot. So that is that is also matching with my equation, state variable equation x dot is equals to ax plus bu. In that I only have one term with the dot presentation. So here I can write here that it is x dot plus 3 into x2 plus 2 into y. Y is x1. So plus 2 into y, that means 2 into x1 equals to input u of s. Okay. So if I just simplify this, you will have the conversion like this: x dot is equals to, I will take all the terms on the right side. So x dot is equals to minus 2x1, right? So I've taken this minus 2x1 minus 3x2 plus u of s. Okay. And what is x1 dot? x1 dot already I have taken as x2. So I can write x1 dot is equals to 0x1 plus x2 plus 0u, because there are no terms for x1 and u. So you can write coefficient 0. Fine. What is output? Output is basically y. Y is equals to x1. So I can write y is equals to x1 plus 0 x2 plus 0 u. Okay, from that I can straight away write the matrix representation. So I can write here x1 dot x2 dot is equals to 0 1, because x1 dot equation is x1 dot is equals to 0 x1 plus 1 x2. So I can write here 0 1 x1 x2 plus 0 u. Okay, what is equation of x dot? X dot is equals to minus 2x1 minus 3x2 plus u of s. So I can write here minus 2x1 minus 3x2 plus 1 into u. So this is my equation. This is my state variable equation. And after that, y in output equation, y is equals to x1 coefficient will be 1, x2 coefficient will be 0, and u coefficient will be 0. So after conversion, I can say this is my matrix A with dimension 2 cross 2. This is my matrix B with dimension 2 cross 1. Matrix C with dimension 1, 1 cross 2, and matrix D with dimension 1 cross 1. Okay. So this is a state space representation for given transfer function, right? So this is the controllable canonical form representation. Fine. Now this was the basic example which was only having denominator. It was not having any term in the numerator. So if I have a transfer function in this form, that y of s by u of s is equals to s plus 1 upon s square plus 8s plus 9. So here also there is numerator as well as denominator. So here the method will be changed. So you just have to keep in mind that whenever I have numerator by denominator form, I'll be multiplying numerator and denominator with x1 of s. Okay, so if I multiply here x1 of s by x1 of s, then y by x1, y by x1 will be the y by x1 will be the numerator coefficient. So y by x1 will be numerator, that is s plus 1. And similarly, what will be x1 by u? X1 by u will be the denominator. So this thing you have to do when you have numerator by denominator form. You have to multiply x1 of s in numerator as well as denominator, and then you will take y by x1 as numerator and x1 by u as denominator. This point you have to keep in mind. After that the sum is very easy. So now what I am doing is x1 by u is denominator and y by x1 is equals to numerator. Now I'll do cross multiplication. So it will be s square x1 of s plus 8s x1 of s equal plus 9 into x1 of s equals to u of s. From this x1 of s by u of s equation, after cross multiplication, I will have this kind of a simplification. Okay. Similarly, if I do cross multiplication in the output y of s by x1 of s equation, then I will have simplification like this: y of s is equals to s into x1 of s plus x1 of s. Okay. Now how I will represent, how I will be assuming the state variables. X1 will be the initial state variable, then x2 will be x1 dot, and x dot will be s. Actually, x dot will be s into x1 of s. Okay, because x2 I have assumed as s into x1 of s. So from this, if I just replace the terms in my equation, then I can say that here I have s square x1 of s, which I can write as x2 dot. And if I subject x dot is this term, so all the remaining terms will be going in the right side. So it will be here I can write minus 9x1 minus 8x2, because as x1 as x2, and plus u is equals to x2 of x2 dot. So that I can write here x2 dot is equals to minus 9x1 minus 8x2 plus u. Okay. Now similarly, what is x1 dot? X1 dot is nothing but x2 dot. Right? So I can write here x1 dot is equals to, sorry, there is correction here. X1 dot is equals to 0x1 plus x2 plus u, 0u. So here there is a correction, you need to write 1x2 and 0x1. Okay. Now what is output equation? Output equation is y. Y is equals to, what is written here? Y is equals to sx1 plus sx1 plus x1. So I can write that y is equals to x1 plus x2, x1 plus x2. Here please keep this point in mind that you don't write s into x1 as x1 dot, because always we have y is equals to cx plus du, and in that equation there is no dot term. So I can here write as x1 dot as well as x2, but we have to keep in mind that we never write dot equation in the output equation. So I will have here y of s is equals to x2 plus x1. So I can write here x1 plus x2 plus 0u. So from this, if I represent in the state model, my equation will be, matrix A will be 0 1 minus sign minus 8, matrix B will be 0 1, C will be y1, C will be 1 1, and D will be 0. Okay, so this is a very important example, because here we are dealing with numerator as well as denominator. In the previous problem we just had denominator, right? So when you have numerator by denominator, this term or this step you need to remember that we assume we multiply x1 in numerator and denominator, and then y by x1 will assume as the numerator, and x by u will assume as denominator. This thing you have to keep in mind, and similarly how to assume state variable, that thing is important. Okay, fine. So after understanding two varieties, now we can go with the we can now solve all the kind of problems, right? Whether only denominator is given or numerator denominator with any order, right? So that you can solve. So now I'll go with the MATLAB simplification. So similar problem if you have in MATLAB, then what you should do, here the command is tf to ss. If you recall, we have discussed about ss to tf while we were converting state space to transfer function. Here we are using command tf to ss, through which you can convert the given transfer function into state space. Okay, here the input arguments are n and d. N stands for numerator coefficients and d stands for denominator coefficients. So for example, if I have the simple transfer function 1 upon s square plus 3s plus 2, and if I need to convert it into the matrix form, that means state variable form, then what I need to do, I need to do input argument as the coefficients of numerator comma coefficient of denominator. So it means I need to define n is equals to 1, d is equals to 1 3 2. Okay, and if I write abcd is equals to tf to ss and d, and if I just give enter, then it will be giving me matrix a b c and d. So this is the representation which we have also calculated through manual steps. But also keep in mind that every time you will not have the same representation, because the MATLAB algorithm may be using different forms like controllable canonical form, observable canonical form, or any other advanced representation method. So in that case, you need to check the determinant of matrix A should be equals to the MATLAB simulation determinant of A. Those two values are same, then we can say that they are same. Okay, so the single system can be represented with the multiple ways when we use state space method. So whereas in the case of transfer function, there is only one representation. So this thing you should keep in mind. Okay, now after understanding the detail or say regular method, I'll teach you shortcut through which you can convert straight away from transfer function to state space. So here our transfer function is 1 upon s square plus 3s plus 2, and I don't want to apply the regular method which I have done in the previous example. So I just want to do it with the help of shortcut. So what is the shortcut? That uh, always you have to write first of all, you see the order here is 2, so dimension of matrix A will be always 2 cross 2, right? B will be always 2 cross 1, C will be always 1 cross 2, and D will be always 1 cross 1, because TF can be applied to seesaw system. So that's why you can straight away predict the dimensions. Now how to write the coefficient? So here you need to start from uh, this arrow is very important. You need to start from the last s raised to 0 coefficient and change the sign. So minus 2 minus 3, right? If you change the sign here of coefficients, it will be minus 2 and minus 3, that you need to write in the last row of matrix A. So whatever coefficients you have with the opposite sign following this direction, you will be writing here in the last row. Okay, the last row you need to write straight away from the denominator coefficient. The second last row, the last element will always be 1, right? And remaining element here in this particular case, it is 2 cross 2, so you will write here 0. But if uh, right, so you will write here 0. But if you have 3 cross 3, then the uh, explanation is given in the second example, so I'll explain that part. For example, in this second problem, I have s cube, means it is a 3 cross 3 matrix. So again, I'm doing the same thing. I'm writing the coefficients in the with the negative, with the opposite sign in the last row. So here the coefficients are minus 4, 2 and 8. So I can write minus 4, minus 2 and minus 8 in the last row. The second last row, last element will always be 1, and you have to write in the diagonal. So whatever after this one, you have to see the diagonal of it, and you have to write all the elements 1. And after putting 1, you have to put other elements as 0. So here it is 3 cross 3. So here if I have 1, then I will have only 1 here in the first row, and apart from that all the elements will be 0. So this is the shortcut, right? B, what about B? B will always have, if here my uh, gain is 1, then B will always have second element as 1, first element will always be 0. So in the second row, first element will be 1, the first element will be 0. Okay, C will always be 1 0 because there is no numerator. If I have a numerator here, like we discussed in the second example, then the C matrix terms will be changed, right? So here I don't have any numerator, I just have one constant term here, so I will have here C equals to 1 0, and D is by default 0, right? D will be 0. Similarly, I have done here that matrix A I explained, B will be, last element will be 1, remaining will be 0, so it is 0 0 1. C, first element will be 1, other elements will be 0, so it is 1 0 0, and D will be 0. Fine. Now let's go for the third category. So in this I have numerator as well as denominator. So you can see here s plus 1 upon s square plus 3s plus 2, again it is a 2 cross 2 matrix. Matrix A will be 2 cross 2 because the order is 2. Now last row I will be writing the coefficients with the opposite sign starting from the s raised to 0. So it is uh, minus 2 minus 3, I'll be writing in the last row. The second last row's last element will be 1, right? And here it will be 0. B will be 0 and 1. Now C is important here. C, what is the shortcut for C, right? When I have numerator coefficient, then only you will be changing the terms in C, otherwise it will be 1 and 0. Okay, if it is 3 cross say 1 cross 3, it will be 1 0 0. But here I have a numerator term, that is s plus 1. So here how I will be writing, again I'll see this arrow and I will not change the sign, right? So in C you don't need to change the sign, in A you need to change the sign. So here again my coefficients are 1 1, and coefficient of matrix D is by default the terms in the D will be 0. Okay, again I apply that understanding here. So my last row of matrix A, minus 4 minus 2 minus 8, second last row 1, diagonal 1, and remaining element 0. B 0 0 1, and C, C here, right? Here C will be changed. So how you will write without changing the sign? So 3 2 1. So I've written here 3 2 and 1, and D is by default 0. So this is a shortcut method which you can apply without assuming state variables and doing all the steps. So this is a very useful shortcut, right? Which you can apply when you have question and objective. Else you need to do the whole method. Fine. Now if I have this kind of a problem in which I have constant gain here, 25 upon s square plus 4s plus 25. So here matrix A will be as it is, minus 25 minus 4, right? And second last row, last element will be 1. So here it is 1 and 0. B here is 0 and 25 because here it is not 1, it is 25. C will be again 1 0 because there are no there are no, because in numerator there is no s plus 1 or some s plus or something like that. So here it will be as it is 1 0 and d will be 0. So this is a this will be the representation for given transfer function. Fine. So I hope it is clear. This is the way you can convert given transfer function into state space. This is only one method, this controllable canonical form, but we just have one method in syllabus. We'll follow this. Okay. And after this, I've given you two problems for practice, right? So here I've given you two transfer function which you can convert in state space model. Remember that you have to do here uh, complete method, and you can also verify it with the shortcut, right? So here I have s square plus 3s plus 1 upon s square s cube plus 2s square plus 6s plus 7, numerator by denominator form, right? And similarly here second example is s plus 8 upon s cube s plus 3 s plus 1. So here you need to first of all simplify, and then you need to apply the complete method and cross verify with the shortcut method. Okay, so in this way we can convert given transfer function into the state space using controllable canonical form. So now we are clear with how to convert from SS to TF, TF to SS, right? Conversion of electrical and mechanical system in transfer function, right? Its basic theoretical advantages as well as application point of view why it is useful. This all things we have discussed. So we are summing up the chapter here, and